Hello everyone, I'm Dan Philgreen, and this is Shell Point Today for Monday, November 18th. On today's show, we hear from our three favorite doctors about how gratitude can be a positive benefit to your health. We'll also hear about tomorrow night's event featuring Lilly & Company Jewelers. And we'll learn about the city of Jerusalem from our history professor, Adrian Kerr. But first, we want to thank everyone for their participation in last week's Festival of Heroes. It was an amazing week, starting out with the parade and picnic and ending up with a volunteer expo at the Woodlands Commons. We filmed the entire week's festivities and we'll show you a montage of all the events later this week. But for now, we want to let you know about two big Academy events happening tomorrow. All this season, the Academy has focused on the Middle East, from its history and culture to the current conflicts you see in the evening news. Tomorrow's session focuses on Jerusalem, which according to Adrian Kerr, has been destroyed twice, besieged 23 times, attacked 52 times, and captured 44 times. Find out more about this holy city at an Academy event tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the Grand Cypress Room. Terry Kolath has this preview.
Hello, I'm here with Professor Adrian Kerr, and we're talking about his next offering in the Academy on Tuesday mornings in the Grand Cypress Room. This one is Jerusalem. Thank you for joining me, Adrian.
Thank you, Terry. It's always a pleasure.
Jerusalem, holy city to three religions. What an amazing place.
It is an amazing place, and it's a true test of humanity. If you were planning an area of perpetual conflict, you couldn't do better than choose the Middle East, and particularly Jerusalem. Who ever thought of putting the center of three religions almost in one piece of relatively small, dusty backwater, if you like, of the Middle East? But the reality is what it is. And Jerusalem has an absolutely fascinating history from ancient times, very early on, as we know, nearby towns like Jericho. Jericho is only a stone's throw from Jerusalem. Jericho is the oldest continually inhabited city on the planet. It was founded around 10,000 BC. So the history isn't just Egyptian, which is 3,000 years. It goes 3,000 or 4,000 years before that. So there's a tremendous amount that we've learned recently about the beginnings of Jerusalem. It was, for most of its time, an insignificant hill fort. What changed it was when David conquered it to extend his empire, and he made it his capital city, and it became known as the City of David. And therein starts the issues as to who has the right to live, dwell, and run Jerusalem, because it's changed hands many times. If you go back to the time of Jesus, for instance, it was a hotbed of insurrection. The appointed prefect or governor of Judea was told, and when he was given the job, good news and bad news. He said, good news is he's been promoted to be governor of Judea. The bad news is it's Judea. And it was a hotbed. They weren't paying taxes. They didn't respect the army. They wanted to kick the Romans out. So going back to Roman times, it's been a real problem child.
Interesting. If you try to imagine Fort Myers, the city we're living in the same situation, having three distinct factions, it really does seem almost impossible. Yet year after year, Jerusalem continues on.
There are moments of bright light in this whole story, and that there were times of hundreds of years where the people of Jerusalem cohabitated. So Jews, Christians, and Muslims lived fairly harmoniously. A number of events changed that. The most infamous ones, of course, are the Crusades. And the Crusades have never been forgotten or forgiven by the people of the Middle East. And that they see this as they call them the Franks, because the people came in who, mostly from France, but all nationalities. They refer to the Crusaders as the Franks. And so you have this foreign army trying to take their city, a different religion, different styles, different standards, and atrocities took place on both sides. There's nobody won in terms of ethics. Both sides were disgraceful. Although, if you're looking at the balance of the events over the four Crusades, the first three Crusades, the Crusaders themselves had a few sins to explain. And the history books tell us that under Islam, Jerusalem was a more open place up until that time than it was under the Crusades. So that was the turning point, if you like, of conflict within the city. And of course, then you can come up to the modern era, where the next turning point was 1947, when the United Nations proposal to split Palestine into two parts was rejected, and the people of Israel today created their own state, and therein lies a 60-year-old pouring of gasoline onto the fire, which we are still living with today.
It's going to be fascinating. As always, don't forget to stop in and register for Jerusalem Tuesday morning in the Grand Cypress Room.
Also tomorrow, we have an event for ladies who love jewelry. And let's face it, that's most all of them. Our friends at Lily & Company, the jewelry store on Sanibel, will visit Shell Point with a wide selection of locally designed necklaces and earrings, as well as picture frames, mirrors, candles, and other gift ideas. And even if you don't plan on buying anything, you can still come for the scrumptious hors d'oeuvres and the chance to mingle with friends while looking at pretty shiny things, and it's all for free. The Lily & Company Ladies' Night Out takes place tomorrow at 5:15 p.m. in the Social Center on the island. Leslie and Bev from Resort Services recently visited Lily & Company on Sanibel to preview this event.
Hey Bev, come here. Come look at this.
What you got? What you got?
We've got all kinds of things. Let's look at the diamonds and the silver and the gold and the pearls. Wow.
This is amazing. I had no idea they had such a selection here.
Me either. I just want all this fabulous jewelry that Lily & Company has.
They do a nice job here. They have their own designers, and then they have outside designers as well, I've heard.
And they even have paw prints for the dogs. And
Oh, well, the dogs need to have their bling.
that is true. They have great stuff here.
I like the bracelets. I'm a bracelet person.
Look at those
are
flower
wonderful.
earrings.
Oh, this is going to be so fun.
I can't wait, and it's coming so soon.
What's coming so soon?
You haven't heard?
No, I haven't heard. What's going on?
The event on November 19th at the Social Center on the island. We're having Lily & Company come out for a ladies' night out. We're having all sorts of jewelry from different designers come out and display it all over the Social Center. It starts at 5:15 to 6:45. You don't want to miss it. It will be a great time.
Will they be able to buy jewelry at this event?
Of course. You can come in, out, whatever you want to do. Look at the jewelry. We'll have refreshments, a couple hors d'oeuvres at the end.
Sounds great.
Yeah, well, we can't wait. You better be there.
You said you were bringing Lily & Company to Shell Point for an event?
I am.
When
yes.
is that?
November 19th.
November 19th. I'm bringing Shell Point here to Lily & Company, here on Sanibel Island on December 12th.
What a
So they
coincidence.
can come here, see all the jewelry that they didn't see at your event, and they can try this stuff on. Where can you go to buy fine jewelry and pet dogs at the same time?
I can't believe they have dogs
I
here.
love this place. This is wonderful. They're having a brunch, and we're coming out about 11 o'clock. We're going to get here. It's like a finger food brunch, and then they'll be able to check out all the fine jewelry they have here at Lily & Company, gift items, that sort of thing. Should be great.
That's a great idea.
I think this is a jewelry kind of Christmas this year.
It is. Better get all those presents for your loved ones with Lily & Company.
Shell Point and Lily & Company
Is a winning combination. Sign up today.
That's two chances to enjoy Lily & Company. They're coming here tomorrow, or you can go there on December 12th. Reserve your spot for either event by calling the Island Service Desk at 454-2282 or the Woodland Service Desk at 454-2054. During this season of Thanksgiving, it's traditional to name the things we're thankful for. But did you know that gratitude is actually beneficial to your health? Studies have shown that gratitude can affect your physical, mental, and spiritual well-being, which fits right in with the holistic model of wellness we follow right here at Shell Point. Learn more from our 3 physical, mental, and spiritual experts at an academy class on gratitude tomorrow at 1 p.m. in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. Here is a preview.
Hi, everyone. I'm Terry Kolath. I'm here today with my 3 favorite doctors, Dr. Sue Stranahan with the Spiritual Services Department, Dr. Nancy Spencer with Behavioral Health, Dr. Carol Clark with our Medical Center. And every single semester so far, they have agreed to join us in the Academy of Lifelong Learning to give us a holistic look at a topic of interest to all of us. In November, what better topic could we have than gratitude? Thanks for joining me, ladies. It's a pleasure to have you in the Academy semester after semester. And when we started looking at what our topic would be for fall, gratitude kind of bubbled up to the top. Maybe it was because of Thanksgiving or the holidays coming. Maybe it was because of what you see and the work that you do here at Shell Point that made you think, this is a topic worth studying. And we know that you do study the topic, and that's something we appreciate about you. In addition to your day job, you're all great researchers who spend time, bringing us this information. So, Carol, let's start with the physical aspects of gratitude. Could you give us a sneak peek at what you might be talking about?
I would be happy to, Terry, and thank you for asking me and us to do this every semester. What I've learned in my practical application of gratitude is that you see optimistic people having better health, but that's just an empiric look at it. What's been interesting in my research is to show that the researchers who actually do studies in molecular pathology have found that even issues like pressure ulcers heal differently in optimistic people.
Fascinating.
So they're doing more and more with the linkage between neurology, endocrinology, and then just the physiology of disease to show that there's that neurological component of gratitude that changes the release of cortisol and the immune system and the immune cascade, so that it's not just an observation that optimistic people heal faster and are healthier, but it's actually shown now in research.
Carol, do you think that the kind of subtle, or maybe not so subtle, change in medicine from the illness model to the wellness model is encouraging us to do more of these studies and look at other ways than medicine to heal? Do you think that's true?
I believe it is true, and I believe that in life it's always good to look for the behaviors that you want to see repeated, and why do you want them to be repeated. And we see that people who value wellness stay well longer.
It's a good thing to look at. It's not easy to do, though, is it?
Oh, it's terribly challenging.
Mm-hmm. But some challenges are really worthwhile and pay off.
Yes, they do.
Thank you. And Nancy, with behavioral health, it seems like it's such an important thing, our outlook. We say attitude of gratitude.
And that is exactly the theory, attitude of gratitude. It is an attitude. It's a way of life. It's not just something that comes and goes. It's actually a motto that people take on. And those individuals who do have an attitude of gratitude are researched and found to be much happier. And not just happier for the period of time in which they're doing something that would offer someone else thankfulness or gratitude, but that happiness persists over time, months and even years. And what I have found interesting in my research on this topic is psychology has typically in the past been a model of looking at distress or pathology. And in around the year 2000, it shifted to look at this wellness or positiveness in people. And as a result, they really have found that people who are grateful for what they have are happier people.
Now, can you change? I mean, my little granddaughter is the sunniest, most cheerful person ever. If you're not, can you change?
Yes, and actually I have a whole segment on that in the presentation. Sure. So it's easy to be grateful for what you have on a sunny day, but on a cloudy day it's much more difficult to develop that appreciation. So I will touch on that in our presentation.
And once again, you'll be bringing us strategies.
Yes, absolutely. Super. Lots of steps, which I'm trying to implement in my own home.
Aren't we all? That's great. And Sue, I always have you bring up the finale to our talks because, as we all know, our spirituality is the lasting part of ourselves. And how does spirituality and gratitude intertwine?
Well, the research shows there's a definite association between people who are religious or spiritual and who are also grateful. Now, this first came to me early on in my tenure here at Shell Point. I was visiting a lady who was over 100 years old. No one will know who she is because it was so long ago. But I said to her, I said, I'm just starting out as a chaplain. What can you teach me? She said, I can tell you what I've learned from being here in the pavilion. I've learned to be grateful. And I asked her, how did that happen? And she said, well, you might think that being in a bed all day long would be a dismal thing, and it could be, but I've learned to thank God for every single thing that happens. The staff who served me, the cup of cold water, and it really began a way of thinking in my mind, too, that gratitude is a spiritual dimension, has a spiritual dimension that comes through our faith. And she taught me that.
Isn't that wonderful? What we learn from wise elders.
Yes.
It's fabulous. Well, ladies, I'm really looking forward to this. I love the way you share your research, and I love the way we get a holistic look at the topic. And you are all welcome to join us. We are going to gather in the Grand Cypress Room from 1 to 2:30, and it's Tuesday, November 19th. You are all welcome to take advantage of this opportunity to look at gratitude.
Coming up, we're covering all of Monday's happenings. But first, let's preview this week's Channel 13 radio program, Listening to the Words.
This week on Listening to the Words, you're invited to join me in marking 2 anniversaries in American history. It was 152 years ago this month when Julia Ward Howe wrote the lyrics to the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Hear the story behind the song and hear it performed by the U.S. Air Force Band and Singers. Also this week is the 50th anniversary of the shooting of President John Kennedy in Dallas. We'll look at the good happening in that city today. Also on this week's program, a local writer makes a great metaphor comparing bicycles to older folks. And wait till you hear yours truly, mixing it up with the most meaningful word in the English language. And now for some great news. If you could not find Listening to the Words on Shell Point Channel 13 between the 7th and 12th of November, it's because it wasn't there. The technical problem that caused its absence has been fixed. David Howenstein thanking all those who have been and continue working so hard to get all our channels working well. And as always, thank you for listening to your favorite stories, articles, and poems every day, all week on your Shell Point Channel 13.
Thank you for joining us today on the Happening segments. My name is Leslie Brand, and this is Bev Chandley, and we're here to tell you about the activities that are going on this Monday. At 9 o'clock, we're going to start early with men's match play doubles tennis at the tennis courts. 9:15 at the billiards in the Resident Activity Center. Also at 9:15, we have pottery in the Pottery Studio on the island. And lastly, at 9:15, we have virtual bowling in the Resident Activity Center. 10 o'clock, we're going out to the Susie Q at Matanzas for lunch. Sign up is required. 10:30 is the Disciple Men's Bible Study Group in the game room in the Woodlands. 10:45, we have table tennis clinic in the Tarpon Room. And 11:30 is the Health Connections, Agility and Flexibility in the Health Club, but that one is closed. Now here's Bev to tell you about the afternoon activities.
Thank you, Leslie. At 12 o'clock, you'll find Mahjong. That'll be played in the Sable Room down at the Woodlands. 1 o'clock, we have a Health Connections class, Balanced Basics at Assisted Living. This one will be at the Community Room of King's Crown. 1:15, we have Scrabble being played in the Library Lounge. Also at 1:15, we have table tennis. That'll be down in the tunnel in the Tarpon Room. The tone chimes will be in the Osprey Room at 1:15. Then we move to 1:30, where the model train room will be open for tours from 1:30 to 3:30. At 1:45, we have a Health Connections class, Balance and Mobility Training Level 1. That'll be in the Health Club, and that's currently full. At 2 o'clock, we head down to the Woodlands Oak Room for the Beady-Eyed Bead Club. At 3 o'clock, we have another Health Connections class, Pilates Stretch, in the Health Club. At 3:15, the Shell Point Singers rehearsal will go on at the choir room at the Village Church. At 6:30, the Duplicate Bridge group will be in the game room of the Woodlands. Also at 6:30, we have Beginners Square Dancing. That'll be down in the Health Club on the island. And our last activity for today is 7 o'clock with Square Dancing in the Health Club. That one is currently full. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see you back here for the Happening segment tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Monday. At 9:15, our Gmail class continues in the Computer Teaching Center on the island. At 10:15, our Anatomy of Words class continues in the Buttonwood Room of the Woodlands, and they welcome everyone interested in words. At 10:15, we have Exploring the Lives of 20th Century American Writers taking place in the Social Center on the island, and sign-up is required. At 10:15, Talking is the New Typing continues in the Manatee Room on the island. I'd like to tell you about our new classes coming tomorrow. We have Jerusalem, Holy City to Three Religions with Professor Adrian Kerr, iOS 7, What's New with Bruce Findlay of Sundial. And then our holistic topic this semester is going to be presented by Dr. Sue Stranahan, Dr. Nancy Spencer, and Dr. Carol Clark. And what a fitting month to look at gratitude.
Menus for Monday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is General Tso's chicken with steamed rice and stir-fried vegetables. The dinner special is Home Cooking Night for $9.95, and the soup of the day is tomato. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a taco salad for $7.25. For dinner, you can have Spanish pork loin with jasmine rice, corn, and tomatoes for $8.25. And on Mondays, the Palm Grill is closed. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey, administrator of the Alpha course, which is being offered at Shell Point for the 11th consecutive year. It will run every Tuesday evening from January 14 to March 11 and one Saturday morning, March 1st. Over 18 million people in 169 countries have found answers to many of life's big questions by taking the Alpha course, which is offered by every major U.S. denomination in all 50 states. The course originated in 1977 in Holy Trinity Brompton Church, an Anglican parish church in London. It was in response to young people who were asking, is there more to life than this? The Alpha course presents the basics of the Christian faith. Some people went to Sunday school as children but drifted away from the church, and in this season of life appreciate a refresher course. Others have attended church on and off but would appreciate a review of the basics. Subjects we consider include, why did Jesus die? How can we have faith? Why and how should I pray? Why and how should I read the Bible? Who's the Holy Spirit? There are 3 phases to a typical Alpha evening. Each session begins with a Palm Grill catered dinner served in the Grand Cypress Room. It's followed by a video lecture, and finally a small group discussion. We begin at 4:30 p.m. and end at 6:45 p.m. sharp. The course is free to participants. An Anglican vicar, Nicky Gumbel, gives the video lectures. The atheistic son of a Jewish refugee from Nazi Germany, Nicky studied at both Oxford and Cambridge, becoming a trial lawyer. But when a friend challenged him to read the Bible, he couldn't put it down. Nicky later gave up law to offer grace, becoming a pastor and majoring in the Alpha course. His humor and clarity of expression, coupled with a low-key presentation style, make the fast-moving talks the focus of each evening and a natural lead-in to small group discussions. Alpha focuses on discovery rather than dogma. There are no dumb questions. As people share experiences and opinions, new friendships form. We learn from each other. So are you someone who doesn't attend church, but is seeking spiritual answers? Are you uncertain of your beliefs and open to growing in the faith? Then Alpha is for you. Why not come and join us? You can register today by calling the Village Church at 454-2147. Do it by all means before the end of December. Space is limited, so it fills up quickly. Do come and join us. You'll be glad you did. And thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections.
We're glad you joined us for today's show. Tune in tomorrow as we meet David and Sarah King, missionaries to Hong Kong, who now pastor a Chinese church right here in Fort Myers. We'll also talk to Miriam Armstrong, who plays violin with the Shell Point String Ensemble. Until then, this is Shell Point Today for Monday, November 18th. I'm Dan Philgreen, and from all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope that you have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.